Go in the bathroom, turn off the lights, look in the mirror. We'll have the light on at first, and then after 1 minute, turn the light off, and and search until you see your own glow, your own aura, and then you watch it change.
Wow.
And it's a scary thing because you'll feel like some hands are on you, and you lose a little bit of control of what you're doing. But if you stay with it, you'll be inhabited by something, and then you walk out, and the character's with you, and you got to know how to say goodbye to it.
So what it sounds like he's speaking of is possession. What is good? Diamond Dynasty, baby. Y'all already know what's going on in this video today. Man, as you guys can tell by the title of this video, what we're going to be reacting to. Shout out to Black Balloon, man. We're going to be reacting to his video on Terrence Howard and the demonic realm. All right, before we get into it, like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell the angel mama to tell the Uncle Joey still a hoe. Let's get right into the video.
I made $12,000 for doing Hustle and Flow. And then on top of it, what Paramount did, instead of putting my name as Terrence Howard performing the songs, they put performed by DJ. Well, they own DJ. So guess what? The performance royalties went to Paramount.
Wow.
Wait a minute. They didn't go to
these actors, these singers, all of these motherfuckers are just getting used and tossed to the side, bro. When I heard that them niggas on Friday, I think it was Friday, they made like a couple $1,000s, all of them, for doing Friday, a classic, you just know that all of these niggas are getting pimped out.
Terrence Howard, they went $12,000. That's all I ever made from Hustle and Flow.
Wow.
Everything else went right back into Paramount. So now I gotta sue Paramount or send them a letter.
Are you serious?
I gotta send them a letter to say, hey, you guys owe me about 20 years worth of residuals and performance royalties. But I didn't know. I was just trying to pay my rent then. I made $6,000 doing Crash. Crash didn't.
I remember the movie Crash. Yes, that's right. That's right.
The business don't pay actors anything. That's why the strike is going on. Actors are struggling.
As you and I were kind of joking earlier, it's hard out here for a pimp.
Yeah, it is hard unless you do it right.
Unless you do it right.
And I've never been good at being a pimp. The pimp has to have a heartless.
And you the hoe in this situation. You getting pimped.
A heart of stone.
Now I thought it would be interesting to show that clip, just because it gives a little bit of insight to why the recent strike happened in Hollywood, where a bunch of your shows were delayed, a lot of stuff wasn't filmed, and shows that you might be interested in haven't come out yet, or they will be coming out in the next year or two, right? So he gave a little bit of insight about something that happened to him a long time ago, the movie that he won his first Oscar from, which was Hustle and Flow. The movie that I guess you would say
this dude won a whole Oscar and only got $12,000 from that Oscar-winning performance. I want you guys to really think about that. And as much money as the movie Friday has made, the fact that these niggas only got paid a couple thousands of dollars for being in the movie is just wild. It's wild. That's why I think social media is such a beautiful thing. Even though it does come with some negative things, it's such a beautiful thing because it's actually in your hands now. Somewhat. You can still get blackballed. You can still get out of the algorithm. There's still certain things that they can do to manipulate your numbers, manipulate your visibility. But you still have more power than you did just 20 years ago, just 10 years ago, to actually build a life and create the success that you actually want. And stop getting pimped out. So that's a great thing.
He took his career to another level. He said he only earned $12,000 from that movie, and he was basically playing a pimp, and he also got pimped by Paramount. So it's pretty ironic, but we all know that's something that's been going on from the music industry to the film industry. They basically set him up to where they didn't have to pay him because they own the rights to DJ being the character that he played, even though that character was Terrence Howard, but you're acting in a movie it's not real. So, you know, they set it up to where they wouldn't have to pay him residuals. And it's like, wow. You know, the fact that they could even do that is almost illegal. I don't even know what you want to call that.
Illegal.
To put it in simple terms, it's Terrence Howard being Terrence Howard, but in the movie, he's DJ. So, in fact, they actually own it because it's not really Terrence Howard. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It almost reminds you of like 360 deals, and in the, you know, music industry, them actually owning the rights to your music, you know, and you really get nothing from it. It's crazy, but I thought just putting that in there to kind of give a history of Terrence Howard, because y'all remember Terrence Howard has been around for a very long time. He played in Sunset Park. I think that was back in '96. Now, obviously, he wasn't like the biggest name in that movie back then, but it just goes to show how long he's really been.
I want to see this clip though that everybody been talking about. Let's see.
Check this out.
And you said something I've never really heard a lot of actors say about the process of acting. And you said that sometimes when you walk off, they walk off with your clothes.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Well, as an actor, you're more like a medium.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you really get there, you know, you go into this zone and you really divorce yourself of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And you just become a garment that something else puts on. Now,
right.
A lot of people sit up there and do impersonations of other folks,
Mm-hmm.
you know, instead of allowing that spirit, you know. But I sit up and I'll pray for a little bit and go in a dark place,
Mm-hmm.
go in the bathroom, turn off the lights, look in the mirror. We'll have the light on at first, and then after 1 minute, turn the light off, and, you know, and search until you see your own glow, your own aura. And then you watch it change.
Wow.
And it's a scary thing, because you'll feel like some hands are on you.
Wow.
And you lose a little bit of control of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, if you stay with it, you know, you'll be inhabited by something, and then you walk out, and the character's with you, and you got to know how to say goodbye to it.
Wow.
So what it sounds like he's speaking of is possession. Same thing that Beyonce said when she said Beyonce is totally different than Sasha Fierce. When I go on stage as Beyonce, I'm nervous. I'm nervous before I get on stage. But then something comes over me, Sasha Fierce, and I let go, and something consumes me, and something takes control of me. It's not me anymore. They're all talking about being possessed and inhabited by demons, demonic spirits. That's what they're talking about. Allegedly, YouTube. Allegedly. Gotta say allegedly. We don't know this for a fact. Okay, this could be fiction. This could all be, right? This could all be fiction. This could be like a cartoon. But he's basically speaking of summoning and emptying himself, emptying him as a vessel for another one to inhabit it. That's some scary shit. Some scary shit.
Hands are on you, and you lose a little bit of control of what you're doing. But, you know, if you stay with it, you know, you'll be inhabited by something, and then you walk out, and the character's with you, and you got to know how to say goodbye to it.
Right.
If you really want to get there.
Right.
Now, a lot of people are afraid, you know, to empty themselves and be filled up with something else.
I'm good on that.
You know, as an actor, you're an emotional prostitute.
Wow.
You know, you put on whatever you need for the John. You're turning a trick. You're turning an emotional trick.
Wow.
And it's nothing more glorious than that.
Okay.
Now, first off,
he's right.
The wig is wild. Just looking at this picture, it looked like this dude finna tell you some bullshit or try to sell
you. Look like, what's the old girl name, y'all? The talk show host? Wendy Williams.
You some bullshit. But what he goes into is not something we haven't heard before.
It's possession.
Now, the way that he explains it is very clear cut. He said you become a medium, a garment for something else to wear. Speak.
He's channeling, right? Another energy and force is channeling his spirit right there.
And as in a spirit. Now, what he goes on to say next is crazy. He said a lot of people don't want to allow that spirit to take over. He said a lot of people would rather impersonate, you know, the character that,
and not truly embody or let go of who they are to be inhabited.
They're trying to play. He said if you really want to get there,
right,
you have to allow the spirit to enter your body.
Great. I'm good on that.
He said he will go in the bathroom,
a ritual,
with the light on for 1 minute. He said he will start to pray and go into a dark place. Then he will cut the light off and sit there and search for his aura to glow and start to change. Like, that's some shit where you may have to rewind this and really listen to what he's telling you. He said he will pray and go in a dark place.
Ritual,
so he's not praying to God. You don't go in a dark place when you pray to God. You don't have to do all that. That's a place of, you know,
demonic energy,
truth, happiness. You're praying to God. We don't go in dark places to pray to God. So let's get that out of there. That's out of the equation. Then he says,
and that's why you have to be very careful when you hear these celebrities say, thank you, God. I want to thank God. And, you know, I pray every day. You don't know who that celebrity is praying to. Y'all are probably not praying to the same God. So be very careful. I see a lot of people say, oh, how could you say that this person sold their soul and this and that and the other, when they always mention God and they thank God and they say they pray this and that and the other. You don't know who their God is. And you don't know what God they're praying to. You have no idea. And yeah, they can really believe in God, but what God do they believe in? But nobody questions this because they say, God, there's only one God. No, there's not only one God. They have created another God. They have given power to another God. That is the God of the underworld, the God of darkness. Allegedly.
He keeps the light on for 1 minute. Allegedly. So he's not telling you that he's actually praying, you know, to Satan. He's probably, you know, has a setup. You know, he's doing a ritual, basically.
That's what I just said, y'all.
Because that's why he said he keeps the light on for 1 minute. You know, I guess you want to call it mirror gazing, whatever you want to call it. He then cuts that light off and searches for his aura to glow and then change and feel something take a hold of you. He said,
that's the same thing that these artists talk about when they go on stage. Something takes over them. They have to empty their own vessel so another one can come through.
If you stay with it, you're going to feel some hands feel like they're touching you and you're going to lose control of yourself. He is fully explaining a ritual in order to allow this demonic spirit to inhabit your vessel and take over for you.
And why do you think that all of these artists have an alter ego? Because the alter ego is that demonic possession, that demonic spirit that is going to inhabit their bodies when they do perform. That's why you got a T.I. versus T.I.P. You got a Beyonce and Sasha Fierce. You always have an alter ego. They're channeling spirits out here, man. Believe it or not, allegedly.
For whoever you are trying to portray. Denzel Washington did the same thing, I think, with the Malcolm X role. A bunch of them, Oprah, a bunch of them have done it. They fully embody. Remember, Taraji P. Henson was talking about it. We could pull this back up since they have history together. We could pull her clip right back up just for some context. This blows my mind. He said if you stick with it, you know, you will be inhabited by something. Just look at his face right here. You'll be inhabited by something. by whatever demonic spirit, wants to take a hold of your body and help you with this process. Don't be scared of it, though. Then it goes on to say, if you really want to get there once again. So obviously this is something that's for people or, celebrities, A-list celebs, actors that really take this serious, are really in the occult. If you are really willing to empty yourself and allow something else to fill you up, pause, no Diddy.
No Diddy, facts.
Seriously. Goes on to say that you are an emotional prostitute as an actor. Meaning you have to be willing to pretty much allow anything or take in.
What did Eminem say? Lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You gotta lose yourself. You gotta lose yourself, literally. Not only figuratively, you literally have to lose yourself in order to be inhabited by these demons. You have to. Allegedly.
Anything, any kind of spirit, allegedly, treatment, emotions, you have to be able to embody it in a sense. That this is what it takes if you really want to
get there.
Be
successful.
Make your audience feel what they're actually watching. And it's crazy, to hear someone actually talk about this, because it goes deeper than just having talent, being a talented actor. It goes much deeper. And
instead of getting the assistance of God and maybe angels, maybe your spirit guides, whatever you believe in, instead of tapping into God, right? The God that is a positive God, a God of love, right? Instead of tapping into that, these people are tapping into the lower vibrational energies. And these demons, they ask assistance of. But they also make deals with these demons, allegedly. You must give your soul for riches and gold. A lot of these demons will barter with you, make contractual agreements with you, allegedly. But you don't understand that because these are lower vibrational entities and energies, that the devil doesn't keep their promises. Demons don't keep their promises. Yeah, they might give you overnight success. Yeah, they might give you this and that, but they don't tell you all of what's going to happen. They don't tell you all of the truth. That's like you hiring a hitman. You hire this hitman, you say, look, I need to get rid of my wife. We have a big life insurance policy, and I don't even like her. I just took out a life insurance policy on her so I can get the money. You tell the hitman that, right? So the hitman tells you, okay, cool, right? I'll do the job. I need X amount of dollars to do the job. Once we do the job, then we're good, right? Okay, cool. Hitman goes out and does the job for you, right? You get the life insurance policy and everything like that. But he doesn't tell you that once you give him the money, he's going to kill you too, right? So you can't trust somebody who is in lower vibrations. You can't trust the devil, is what I'm trying to tell you. The devil will promise you everything, but he doesn't tell you the whole story. He doesn't tell you the whole story. He's supposed to be deceitful. He's supposed to be a trickster. So even though he will help you, and it'll be pretty quick, you don't know what you're in for. You just don't, allegedly.
Think they volunteer, to do this kind of stuff. I believe once you reach a certain level, a certain amount of money, you have to, you have to join. that occult. You know, this is what we do when you get to this kind of level. We seek help from the spirit world. We seek help from
lower
demonic spirits in order for us to, you know, cast spells on the listener, on the people that are watching. Because you have to think about it. It's deeper than just them allowing themselves to be, as he said, filled up with spirits. It's deeper than that. Because then you have to think about what you're actually watching. You're no longer watching Terrence Howard. He has a different face now. He just told you. When he comes out of that bathroom, he has no control anymore. He's not himself. We can't imagine what that feels like. The man said he searches for its aura, and he watches it glow, and then he watches it change. He prayed in order to go into a dark place. So they know who they are praying to. They do it over and over and over, and they get the same results because they're praying to the demonic realm. Just look at him with this wig on. What else do you expect from someone like this? And that's why I said it's much bigger than just them doing that and being a part of this, like, you know, occultic type of stuff. You have to think about, you're watching this stuff.
It's true.
Now, obviously, he didn't do this to play.
These demons are in the music. They're in the TV shows. They're in pretty much everywhere, man. They're everywhere.
Hustle and flow. He didn't go into the spirit world and be possessed by a demon in order to be a pimp in hustle and flow. It doesn't work. You know, I don't think they have to do it to do that. But, you know, it just, in the spirit, it really makes you think about what you're actually watching. You're watching,
and especially with music, what are you actually listening to? What is being programmed in your subconscious mind? You gotta really think about those things, man. The demons that they're putting in the music, allegedly.
Spirits act out these roles. And in turn, what is this doing to me mentally? When I believe that I'm watching something genuine and it's so good, but this is actually being led by a demon.
And that's why you gotta wake up and understand the fact that half of this shit is not real. Even this whole reality, this 3D reality is not real, allegedly. The Matrix, all of this is not real. This is all just illusion. It's all just illusion. And the sooner you can actually accept that fact, the better off you will be. You will stop believing in all of these fake mirages and none of this shit is real. Might as well just enjoy what we have here. Enjoy. And these type of videos, I don't want to cause any fear. My intention with these videos is not to cause any fear. I want to come from a space and place of love, but also awareness too. And when you are made aware of certain things, you just open your eyes. It's not to be scared and have all of these negative vibes. No, it's about, okay, I understand now. Now I have understanding. Now I have more awareness. Now I can just be more aware of what is really being programmed into me, and you'll have more control over what you accept and what you don't accept. You know, you can have more control over, okay, I'm not going to watch that because I know that, or I'm not going to listen to that. And I'm not saying that you can't watch Hustle and Flow. You can't watch or listen to whatever you want to listen to, but also know that this might not be the best decision for me to do, right? And then also you know that with your conscious mind, you can reject whatever it is, right? You have the decision and choice to reject whatever it is. So you have that power as well. I don't want you to think that these demonic forces are going to be so like, oh my God, you need to be so afraid. You're so afraid. You can't listen to shit. You can't watch shit. I do not want y'all living like that. I do not want y'all living in fear. I just want y'all to be aware of what's really going on, what they're really doing out here, you know, and you have the power to accept and reject anything in your world because it is your world.
You know, you gotta really think about this on a deeper level. And in turn, it would definitely make you not be as interested in watching some of these films that are just, you know, they're promoted heavy. The ones that really come out with the A-list actors and stuff like that, you know, a lot of money is behind them. You know, these are the films where you're basically watching spirits. And for me, I just find that to be crazy, y'all. I find that to be out of this world. Like,
and the same thing goes for music as well. I keep saying it, man. It's not just the TV shows and the movies. It's also in the music. You're listening to demons, and you're not listening to your favorite artist. You're listening to your favorite artist getting inhabited by a demon, by a demonic spirit, allegedly.
Just how he described it, I don't think anyone has made it so clear as he did. Not even Taraji P. Henson.
And especially when you're dealing with something, the subject matter can be so dark. Yeah. You know, so there were moments on set when I was watching her, and when I knew she didn't need to stay into it, I'd go over there and make her laugh, you know, to lighten the mood a little bit. And whenever they yelled it's a rap, I was all in her face. Yeah. So she could go home and leave Celie at home, because it's a lot when you're dealing with, you know, playing these characters, because it's very spiritual what we do as actors. You're on the set, you have your chakras all open, you're allowing this character to use your body as a vessel. And so you have to learn how to flip the switch on and flip it off, otherwise it could drive you mad.
And you could take that character home with you, or you could take it out into the world with you, which is so crazy. You end up doing some stuff that you yourself would never do, but that character would do. Just completely lose yourself. And some people think that it's drugs that these celebrities are on because they look so run down, they look so old. But wouldn't you look run down and old too if you're constantly you're in a cycle of being inhabited by demonic spirits? Wouldn't you look fucking run down and old as fuck too? Worn out? Like an addict? Yeah, you would look pretty bad too if you constantly opened yourself up to demonic possession. You would not look good after years of doing that, right? So you got to think about this, man. Allegedly.
Because it's spiritual what we do. You understand? Yeah. We allow these characters and these stories to use our bodies as a vessel. That is a real, like, if you think about it, that's you allowing this other energy.
Spirits.
I let the character speak to me. What we do as actors is very spiritual. You're on set, and that's why I don't pick a lot of roles, because it's spiritual, and I'm all alive, and I'm open, and my chakras are open, and I'm letting this character use my body as a vessel to tell its truth. And so when I'm open like that, a lot of energies can't be around me. I'm sorry, because energy is strong, y'all.
Now I want y'all to notice something.
It's all we have.
They both said you have to be able to walk away from the spirit once you're done. So, you know, because Taraji P. Henson was telling Fantasia she'll get all in her face to make sure she, you know, comes back to normal, comes back to life, I guess, in a sense. She'll bother her so she can feel that, you know, she needs to come out of it. And that's basically the same thing Terrence Howard said. You have to be able to walk away from it when you're done. But it doesn't seem like something that's so easy. Because obviously you're playing a dangerous game if it's something that, you know, you have to learn how to do. You have to learn how to let the spirit go. Anytime I talk about this, it just makes you think about Heath Ledger. Because, you know, it's always been the rumor or, you know, speculated that he died from not being able to get away from those demonic spirits that he was allowing to host his body. And that was what ultimately caused his death. So every time I hear about this, it just makes you think about that, because he actually died from it. You know, if that's what you want to believe, it's what I believe. You know, it was definitely a death that probably could have been avoided had he not been doing rituals in order for that Joker spirit to, you know, inhabit his vessel.
Man, shout out to Black Balloon, man. Shout out to this brother. He is really doing God's work out here. Just waking people up, making people aware of what's going on. I had seen the whole Terrence Howard clip going around, but this is my first time actually sitting down and watching and seeing what he had to say, which is very interesting. And also Taraji P. Henson, this is my first time sitting down and actually hearing what she had to say. This is crazy to me. This is really crazy because we all know Taraji and Terrence Howard, they both were on that show. What's that show, y'all? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The show, the music show. Y'all gotta comment down below. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And for them to say what they said, bruh, it's just, it confirms everything that I have been thinking, allegedly, was true. Okay, not saying that anything in this video is true or not. I want you to think for yourself. I want you to think for yourself. Just because I believe it doesn't mean you should believe it. I want you to think for yourself. And if it makes sense to you, then it makes sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to you, it doesn't make sense to you. Either way, do what most people don't do nowadays and think for yourself. I want you guys to stop accepting things because you hear them a lot, or because they're mainstream, or because you hear somebody say it. I want you to actually sit down and say, does this even make sense to me? Does it make sense to me? That's all I want you guys to do. And if you want to be a famous actor, a famous singer, a famous person just in the industry at all, just be very careful and be very aware that at a certain level, you're going to be approached by entities or people to sell your soul. All right, I don't want to say too much. Allegedly, this is all alleged. Okay, I've had my own experiences dealing with this type of stuff, and that's why it's so near and dear to my heart. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I love reacting to content like this because it's actually content that I believe more people need to be aware of, so they don't make the decisions to just because you want to be the next Terrence Howard, the next Denzel Washington, the next Beyonce, Drake, or whoever it is. I want you guys to know that it's way more than what you think. And just because you look up to these people and you think they have such a great life, do they really? If they have to have all of this stuff going on with them, allegedly, in the spiritual realm? No, it's not worth it. Not to me, at least, you know? Anyway, man, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Tell the agent mama to tell their Uncle Joey still a hoe. I will see you guys in the next motherfucking video, and I love y'all, man. Peace. We out, baby.